that one we caught in particular was really big. It was probably maybe 12 feet, maybe a little bit bigger. So its saw itself was about 5 feet long. And that is the first sawfish that I've ever seen. So it was really cool.
So look at his teeth. His mouth's rope shut. Got rope around him.
Like a real saw, super sharp, super dangerous. Same type of polymer rope that's used on crab traps. So what I think happened was, because it swims around on the bottom, it got tangled up in a crab trap rope and then kind of set itself free.
So you were out fishing. When did you go fishing?
So we were fishing 3 days ago. And here, let's start over again. Do you want the date and everything, or?
It doesn't matter. You can just say the day of the week if you want.
Okay, we were Friday, so we're out Tuesday. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so start over. Go ahead.
Okay, we were out fishing on Tuesday, and we were snook fishing in the river near Fort Pierce, and we hooked into that giant sawfish. It was super cool.
Had you ever seen one before?
I had never. I've grown up on the Indian River my whole life. I'm a charter captain full-time for the last 13 years, and that is the first sawfish that I've ever seen. So it was really cool.
Are they known to be in that area?
I think it's a fish. It's a creature that most people see maybe once or twice in their lives. And way back when, maybe 60 plus years ago, they were very common. They were frequent in the Indian River Lagoon system. So you would see them, all over the place throughout the whole Indian River Lagoon system. And then it's become a more rare sight. But actually the last few weeks, there's been a number of sightings. So maybe there's a little bit of a rebound. So it's pretty cool.
Are they at all dangerous? They kind of look like sharks, but you said they're a fish.
Yeah, so they're related to sharks and rays. It's kind of a hybrid of both. And so they're super dangerous in that if you do hook them and you get them close, it's really difficult to get the hook out of them because they can swing their saw back and forth. And that one we caught in particular was really big. It was probably maybe 12 feet, maybe a little bit bigger. So its saw itself was about 5 feet long. So it can be dangerous in that aspect, but their mouth is like a little sucker at the bottom, kind of like a stingray. So that saw is just its bill, and then underneath it is a little mouth. So they're not going to bite you like a shark would, but if your leg got in the wrong place, it could whack you for sure.
Are those the teeth on the side?
It is. Those are the teeth. They don't move and they're permanent and they're very sharp.
Gotcha. So like a real saw, it's sharp and dangerous.
Like a real saw, super sharp, super dangerous. That's how they catch their prey, their fish, their crabs, everything that they eat. They use that saw to come up and stun them and whack them, and then they'll circle back around and eat them up. So it's pretty cool.
What was unusual about this sawfish when you caught it?
To be honest, we weren't expecting to see that. We were expecting a giant stingray because we fought it for about 2 hours, and it fought strange. So it just kind of stayed on the bottom. We were in about 20 feet of water. And, you'd pull it up 2 feet and it'd swim right back down. And then, Ronnie Nail was the angler, and he pulled it up to the surface, and we saw the saw it first. It came up, saw it first, and it shocked us. So it was super cool. It was the first one I've ever seen. It was the first one Ronnie'd ever seen. And so we brought it up next to the boat and took a couple pictures of it real quick, a little video, and set it free. But it was a really cool catch, and we definitely weren't expecting to target it.
Were you at all worried that someone else had maybe gotten to that sawfish, given that it's, I don't know what you call it, a beak, a bill, a nose was wrapped up with some kind of string?
That was my first kind of thought, but the more we looked at it, it was the same type of polymer rope that's used on crab traps. So what I think happened was, because it swims around on the bottom, it got tangled up in a crab trap rope and then kind of set itself free. It wasn't on there very tight, but it was still tight enough to where we tried to get it off a few times, and then it wasn't safe for the fish, wasn't safe for us, so we went ahead and let it go. But I think that's what happened. I think it got into a crab trap.
How did you try to fix it?
I just tried to reach over real quick and see if we could untangle it, but yeah, it was dangerous for both of us.
And you mentioned it doesn't open up like a typical shark. So is it actually a problem for this sawfish to have the string around it?
Honestly, I think it was more of an annoyance for the sawfish because it doesn't keep it from feeding. It doesn't, it's not going to cause it any harm. The way that it was wrapped on there, it's not going to grow into it. Like, you know, if it was a really tight ring, we might have tried to cut it free, but it was just wrapped up on there. So no, it wouldn't impact its day-to-day activities other than just being annoying, you know?
And so you all let it go.
Yeah, we pulled it up. So sharks and stingrays, they need to be moving to get oxygen from the water. So once we got it up next to the boat, we didn't waste much time. We tried to get the rope off real quick. Didn't look like it was harming it. So we removed the hook and set it free as quick as we could. So short video, a couple pictures, and you know, set it off to live a happy life.
Is that something that people can even fish for, or do they always have to release them?
They're protected in the state of Florida. There's more numbers down in the Everglades, but it's still a very rare catch. So that'll probably be the only one I will ever catch. It's one of the few ones of anybody I know that's ever caught. So it's really a special animal, and it was neat to, you know, get that close to it and check it out in person.
And you said you were battling with it for 2 hours?
We were. I mean, it was very large. I don't want to over exaggerate on the length, but just we were fishing in my flat skiff, which is 18 feet long. And when we pulled the sawfish up next to the boat, I mean, it seemed like it was almost as long as the boat. So we estimated it to be about 12 feet long. Its weight, who knows how much. And we were just fishing with snook fishing tackle, which was 50-pound braided line, which is not what you would target a giant sawfish with. So we just thought it was a stingray. We were going to bring it up and, you know, cut the line close, and lo and behold, we had a giant sawfish. So it was a neat surprise. But yeah, it was a long battle.
And was it deep or shallow where you were?
We were fishing in about 20 feet of water, so it was relatively deep. The water was kind of dirty, so we couldn't see more than about 3 feet down. So it was very suspenseful. You know, you're just fighting this big animal just straight up and down, and then, you know, by the time we saw what it was right there on the surface.
Did you? I mean, you said you thought it was a stingray. So did you think it would be anything else other than that?
There's a couple of things that could fight like that in the river. You've got Goliath grouper. They grow up to be like 400 pounds. We catch quite a few of those. And then that's what we thought it was at first. But the way that it was fighting, it was a little bit different. It was just really heavy. It didn't swim very fast. So then we were like, it's got to be a giant stingray, because we couldn't budget for the longest time. And then, I would say sawfish was the last thing on the list.
And you were saying that they're known for swimming on the bottom.
They are. So like it's closely related to a stingray and a skate, and they like to swim on the bottom. So a sawfish, it swims on the bottom. It stays on the bottom. Its mouth is on the bottom of its chin. You know, it feeds on either dead fish that it's killed with its beak, or crabs and snails, things that are living down in the sand. So it's a bottom dweller, and that's where it wanted to stay once we hooked it.
Very interesting. Okay. Anything else that you'd like to add about the experience?
Overall, it was just really cool. I'm very thankful to have been a part to see that, you know, living my entire life on this river and having never seen one. It was a really cool surprise. So thankful to be a part.
Cool. So obviously we want to get permission to use the video. Can you also send us any other extra videos or pictures you may have taken?
Okay. Yeah, I've got one photo, and then I've got that video, and that's all I have. And I'll sign that form and send it over to you.
Yes, please. That was my next question. If you could send that form over as well, giving us that permission. And do you have the email address to send it to, or do I need to give it to you?
Can I just return to the email that they sent?
And who emailed you?
I believe I got it from here. I'll check real quick. Oh, it was from you, Caitlin Mead.
Oh, I'm Amanda. But yeah, you can.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You can send it to Caitlin, and I can get it from her.
Okay, I got you.
Right.
Is there any way that I can get an electronic signature form, or do I need to go ahead and print that out?
You can probably try to just sign it online if you want to. Because
Okay.
if you respond through your email, like, yes, I give permission,
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Okay. I'll do that because I got to run here in a second. But it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.